Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this extraordinary council meeting of the City of Westmount for the 20th of December 2021. Sorry that we are a few minutes late, but and we hope we have no technical difficulties here, but as everybody is aware, we have gone back virtually. And so we will, without further ado, we will get into this very important meeting, and it's sort of a two-step process with the budget where we adopt the capital works budget first, and then the overall operating budget will be adopted in January 2022. And I'm pleased to have Councillor Peart tonight, who will give us some of the details around the capital works budget, as he is the Commissioner for Engineering and Infrastructure. And then come January, Councillor D'Amico, who is the Commissioner of Finance, will share the information for the overall operating budget of the city. So without further ado, then I will hand it over to Councillor Shammy with the adoption of the agenda. He is frozen, so...
Yeah, hello.
Oh, no, you're there. Okay, off you go,
Okay.
Councillor Shammy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to adopt the agenda for December 20th, 2021.
Thank you very much. And a seconder on this motion will be Councillor Peart. Item number 3, presentation of the 3-year capital expenditures program for the 2022, 2023, and 2024 fiscal years. I will hand it over to Councillor Peart to give us the details of, or some of the details for the capital works budget. And then we will have the motion. Thank you. Councillor Peart.
Thank you, Madame la Mairesse. Mayor Smith, fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present the city's 2022, 2023, 2024 Capital Works Programme. Tout d'abord, je tiens à souligner que d'investir dans nos infrastructures, que ce soit dans nos routes, nos conduites d'eau et égouts, nos parcs ou nos installations municipales, est essentiel à la qualité de vie de tous les résidentes et les résidents de Westmount, autant pour le présent que pour le futur. En élaborant le programme d'immobilisation, le Conseil fait preuve d'une saine gestion et de responsabilité financière. Tout en répondant aux besoins urgents, nous devons prendre en considération le coût potentiel d'une action reportée et évaluer les risques d'une facture beaucoup plus élevée sur le long terme. Nous nous engageons également à respecter nos moyens en adoptant un mode de financement en fonction des liquidités disponibles. Il s'agit sans aucun doute d'un exercice d'équilibre difficile à réaliser. In 2016, a previous council had directed the city's administration to prepare a 20-year infrastructure financial plan. At that time, it was determined that an average annual investment of $15.5 million was required for regular capital works projects. In assessing the situation, council had determined that a larger investment was required. We spent $13.96 million in 2020 and are on track to spend $27.5 million in 2021. An amount almost matching the 2021 capital works program. Some projects were deferred given that the tender prices received were too high and, consequently, those contracts were not awarded. Before we move on to next year's budget, I would like to congratulate our engineering, public works, Hydro Westmount, and IT teams for consistently delivering projects on time and on budget. It is also worth pointing out that thorough planning has enabled the teams to prepare bid solicitations and the related documents in a professional and timely manner, practices that are instrumental in meeting deadlines and budgets. Let me now turn to the Capital Works Program for 2022, 2023, 2024. In 2022, we propose a total investment of $27.26 million for the Capital Works Program, which includes, among others, the following major projects: the reconstruction of Lexington, the reconstruction of Mount Pleasant between Sherbrooke and Holton, the reconstruction or rehabilitation of water mains on Arlington, Murray Hill, and Claremont, that is between de Maisonneuve and Sherbrooke, replacement of play structures in Devon Park, the reconstruction of Roslyn Stairs, and the restoration of the windows at City Hall. Approximately 68% of the total capital works program will be invested in buildings, roads, water, and sewer systems. Now, I recognize that water and sewer lines are mostly invisible and unexciting, but some of our underground infrastructure dates back more than a century and requires our priority attention. Fortunately, a significant portion of the water and sewer projects is funded through government subsidies. As mentioned earlier, the 2022 projects include the reconstruction of Mount Pleasant, that's between Sherbrooke and Holton, and Lexington, the reconstruction or rehabilitation of water mains on Claremont, that's between De Maisonneuve and Sherbrooke, Arlington and Murray Hill, and the asphalt resurfacing of various lanes. 2 large-scale infrastructure projects are planned in collaboration with the City of Montreal, the rehabilitation of the primary water network and the replacement of public water inlets on Green Avenue. Now, many of our residents will be pleased to learn that funds have been set aside for preliminary studies and public consultation for the replanning and reconstruction of the boulevard, a multi-year project. Investments in parks and green spaces, which were doubled in 2021 to 1.7 million, are being increased again this year to 4.5 million. This includes significant investments in Devon Park and Summit Woods, as well as the reconstruction of the Rosalind Stairs. Again this year, we are allocating a meaningful portion of the budget to municipal buildings that are in great need of investment to ensure their longevity. In fact, 3.65 million has been allocated for various renovations, restoration, and equipment replacement projects at City Hall, the Public Works Garage, the library, and Victoria Hall. Lastly, we continue to invest in our Hydro Westmount network, in the renewal of our vehicle fleet and other equipment essential to our operations, and we continue to modernize our technology resources. I would like to emphasize that we are maintaining our conservative approach to the financing of our capital works program. We will not be borrowing to move forward with these initiatives, totaling 27.26 million. 12.05 million will be financed through taxation, 11.87 million will be financed from the accumulated surplus, and 3.34 million will be financed through grants. In future capital works program presentations, this council will surface more detail for the projects and financing plan across a 3-year scope of the program. In addition, the administration will build upon the 2017 to 2037 infrastructure financial plan and embark upon the more comprehensive task of developing an asset management plan. For those unfamiliar with the term, an asset management plan identifies how assets will be maintained and renewed, and the cost, level of service, and the risk considerations in each service area. It will be an essential tool to improving our decision-making and strategizing for the much longer term. With this, Council is pleased to present this 3-year capital works program, which aligns with or exceeds the 20-year infrastructure financial plan. I am confident that we are following a responsible path that will benefit the Westmounters of today and tomorrow. With the above comments, I hereby submit the 2022, 2023, 2024 3-year capital works program for Council's approval.
Thank you, Councillor Peart, and thank you for taking on this role as the commissioner. And I think it's I'm proud of this capital works budget. I'm proud of the additions that have been made to it as well in the past couple of weeks since the new council has been elected. And I think this is an F&A team that is really going to is going to work very hard to deliver on this much needed infrastructure spending for the city. And as Councillor Peart has mentioned, and I have mentioned in the past, much of what we do on our roads is obviously driven by the water network underneath, and the planning that goes into that. But this is yet again another significant budget, which will take a lot of work to get those projects completed. But I think we all share that by supporting this, that we have faith that can be done by the engineering team in place. And it is a balance between the investment that is needed in roads. And yes, there is no end to the amount of work that needs to be done on roads and sidewalks in the city, but it is a balance between roads, sidewalks, sewers, hydro, buildings, and our parks. And I think by investing in all of those areas is really is an investment that citizens want, and they want to be able. Sorry, it's loud in my house right now. I hope you can't hear that. So I'm proud of this budget, and I too want to thank the engineering and infrastructure team, and as well as our team at finance that have worked really diligently And it's always difficult in a transition year to go from one council to the next council, yet the budget is done exactly at that time that the election happens. So I want to thank everybody who's been involved in this, and you will see in January the entire operating budget for the city, where we have worked very hard and diligently to keep our costs down. And I think you've probably seen in the media that our agglomeration share will go up significantly, but our local costs we are working very hard on. So on that note, if anyone else wants to comment, Councillor Shammy or anyone else from the FNA who might want to comment, I will hand it over to you, Councillor Shammy.
I wanted to second the motion.
Okay, well, we haven't moved the motion yet, but any other comments from the FNA team? No, okay, so we will move it to item number 4, Councillor Peart. I'll hand it over to you.
Merci, Madame la Mairesse. I move that the 3-year capital expenditures program of the City of Westmount for the 2021, 2022, and 2023 fiscal years attached hereto be adopted.
Thank you very much. And Councillor Shammy had mentioned that he would like to second that. So are any other further comments on this? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Now I'm seeing, let me just see if we have one.
There's one written question.
Yeah, what was the extent and the cost of rebuilding of Sunnyside this year? I want to give a answer, but I want to make sure it's correct because it's in the 4. I don't know if anyone from the administration can tell me. It's in the 4 point something range, but I don't have the exact
Get the exact number back to the citizen, no problem.
Okay, we will. I think it's Mr. Greenberg who answered that, who asked that question. We will make sure that we get that answer back to you. If you could just make sure I think I have your email address, but if you could even put it in the chat, that would be great. And we will get back to you. But it was a significant project. It was expensive, but I want to give you the exact number, and it is. But I think we're all glad that it's done at this point. And do I see a second one?
No.
Yes, there's Mr. Fretz.
Mr. Fretz, no, are the production greenhouses in the 2022 budget? No, they are at this point, they are not in there in terms of, but we are looking at what we're going to do with the production greenhouses and what is actually needed and what is not needed. But as Mr. Fretz, I'm sure, has seen and others have seen, they're in terrible, terrible shape. So if there are no more questions specifically on the capital works budget, oh, thank you. Can the city clerk or the DG take note of Mr. Greenberg's email that he's put into the chat? Or did he just send that to me? He may have just sent it to me.
No, it's to everyone.
Oh, he
Okay.
got it to everyone.
Perfect. Okay. Any other questions before we adjourn? We have a 5:30 public council meeting, which will be on this same link. So we will adjourn for a few minutes until we start up that meeting again. If there are no further questions, again, thank you to everybody who's been involved in the process of working on our capital works budget. Merci tout le monde.